Okay, welcome back. In this video, I wanted to sprinkle some gamification into learning processes, and the basic learning goal for you and for me of this video is to understand and then to change some things perhaps in the way we approach learning, to understand why is it it's way easier sometimes to play something in the practice room as opposed to when you're performing it. Now, performance could take different shapes. Performance could be simply playing for yourself, playing through from the first bar through the last one. Performance could be playing for your friends or family. Performance could be playing for your teacher during the lesson. Performance could be actual public performance. Performance could be playing at the competition. Performance is the large frame. At the core is playing in one go from beginning to the end. Whether it's beginning or the end of one phrase or entire piece, that's depending on where we are in the learning process, and that's an extra detail we don't need to bother with. Okay, if we imagine a scale, just a little bar, like a health bar in the game, except for here it says focus, and it's from 0 to 100%. So I always tell my students, we perform the way we practice, and this is something I haven't told myself enough back in the day, but I'm starting to repeating it to myself through my students. So if we have this focus bar, and if we practice, whenever we practice, whether and it doesn't matter if you play for 1 hour a day or if you do the following for 7 days a week, 6 hours a day. But if every time you do that, you only include 20% of your focus, so your bar is only utilized this much. You train your skill to be good at those 20%, not more. The skill of paying attention, skill of concentration, skill of focus. Those are two slightly different things, but that's also a story for a different video. But to say it in one go, if you practice with only 20% of your focus, that's how far that skill is going to progress. Performance requires 100% of the focus. So, and this framework of thinking applies also to a different thing, which is if you are good at playing a piece of music in sections, in chunks, like you have no problems going through the first 8 bars, and then you work on that, and then you work on bars 20 through 30. Your skill level of that is, let's say, level 5 out of 5. Level 5, you're level 5 of playing bars 20 to 30. You're level 5 of playing bars 11 to 20. And then you feel, okay, off I go, I'm ready for my lesson tomorrow. And you come to your lesson only to realize, oh shoot, my performance skill of playing from bar 0 to 30 is barely touching level 1. Because while, yes, skills compound, and if you work on something in one piece, if you put your thought into it, it is going to bleed into other things you do. But nonetheless, there are different skill trees, so to speak. And if you work on one way of doing things, it's only going to progress your other skill playing through the whole thing, only so much, unless you explicitly work on that skill of being able to play through. Don't assume you're able to just because it feels right here. Don't assume you're going to be able to play through just fine under pressure, under the spotlight, when there's somebody else actually in the room listening to what it is that you do. Just as easily, just as smoothly, just because you had no trouble of doing that in the practice room. So, as I wrote to myself, when performance demands ability to play through at level 5, this bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you only focus on being level 1 being fragmented practicing, which is important. Chunking is important for learning, but it's not all for performance. So that's the idea of this video. At bulk, the upcoming videos in the summer month of 2026 will be about this reframing of learning of various elements of what does it take to learn a piece of music. And I will take you on a journey with me learning through something I'm very excited about, and I will share in a different video, or I will share right now. I'm about to start learning arrangement by Tausig of Liszt's Faust Sonata, and I got inspired by teaching the class this past semester, literature and music. The point being, I have just started Substack, so it's empty, but I will be publishing some thoughts and ideas in a more probably concise, dry, but also at the same time methodological way. The first posting is already there, and I will include link in the description of this video. And the first post, the first publication over there is just an entryway into this reframing of learning process into the world of a game. Each piece of music is a different world. So I hope I will see you there, and I hope if something about the delivery of these videos, upcoming videos especially, is not going to be clear or going to be finicky, please know that at the core, things I will be saying into the camera to you are going to be related to the things that we're publishing there in perhaps more expanded yet still concise way. So if you be checking both things, you might find the missing bits and pieces. But if not, I always look forward to reading the comments. And I also realize I say this, and I've been out of publishing for a few weeks, and I haven't been checking my comment section, which now I should. Till next video.